Opposing Gloves here, and today we're going to talk about low ratio and parallel. Now, I know I've been using Citrus a bunch for this, but Citrus's capabilities as far as waveform control right here are just exceptional. So I like using Citrus to show you the timbral characteristics you can achieve with really specific control over your modulators. It's the thing that Citrus excels at. So I've got one coming out. It's a sine wave. Shocker. We're going to talk about parallel. So what happens when I do something like this? So 1 is being modulated by 2, 3, 4, and 5. But none of these are touching each other. So what's going on here? Well, we know that if we modulate it by 2, 2 is at 0.2. So we get that. Not a shocker. It's a sine wave. Does something we expect. Change it to a triangle. None of this is a shocker. Like, none of it should be a shocker. Now, what if I took 3 and put it in there, though? Well, let's take a listen. I did, right? I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. Let's take a listen. Oh, I made it a triangle wave. Oh, well, that kind of killed the fun of revealing it, but you notice that it does not increase in speed like we did in Serial. It just gets bigger. Let's do a 4. Covers more octaves. Let's add 4 at the same rate. More octaves. Wow, I think we've discovered a trend here. You could even add 6 just to be super cool. So what's the deal here? Well, the trends do not cascade. They all line up perfectly, and as a result, we get a trend that just continues through the whole wave. This is really nifty. Now, what if I have these coming out, and this is, let's say, I want this modulation happening across like several octaves like it is right now. What happens if I take 3 and make it a triangle wave? Oh my, and now what if I change its rate to be a little bit faster? We get this thing where they come in and out. It behaves just like a Reese would. And so if we bring this back, now let's take a 4. Let's make it a triangle wave. Let's make it, in fact, let's make it a saw wave. We get clicks. And so, wow, that's really interesting. These are all low ratios still. So let's make it a bit faster. At a higher rate, again, this would be very different because this is all ratio. I love FM so much. Okay, so we're dealing with the low stuff because, well, actually this is mid-range stuff, but it's really nifty for kind of seeing how things interact. When we get to the higher stuff, the same things exist. They just happen a lot faster. As a result, they themselves may become new things on their own. But okay, well, that's really interesting. Let's make 3 slower, and let's take 5. Okay, so that's really cool. So that's sort of like bubbly water. Now let's make 5 a square wave, and let's make it substantially slower. We get these contribution of clicks from the square wave, and as you can see, it's sort of a more straightforward way of messing with your timbre once you understand the basic modulation steps. But it's not that crazy. It's so yeah, this is one option that is available to you. And these are all still low ratios. When we get into high ratios, the same things will exist, only they'll be happening so fast that these things will sort of become a whole nother thing all on their own. So that's low ratios parallel. Now another thing you could try is, so we could have something like this going on. Say that is like the tone of our dreams. And then you could take 3. You could put 3 out. And you can make operator 3. Oh, you know what? Let's do 4 because we're using 3 as a modulator. So we're going to take 4. We're going to put 4 out. And then on 4, we're going to make 4 a wave. We're going to put it at a ratio of 2. And that's kind of interesting. We're going to take 5 and we're going to make 5 a triangle wave. And we're going to modulate 5 by 4 by 5. So here's 4. We're going to modulate 5. So 4 by 5. And we're going to make it triangle. It's really low. So we're going to make it a different ratio, though. We're going to make it a ratio of 4. Now, it's going to be from the note. So what these are going to be a ratio of 2, which is fine. This one's going to be a ratio of 4, so double. So it should be an octave. So it'll be related. We could even do 8. That'll still be related because it's double again. And then we could modulate 5 by 6, which is fine. And we could take 6 and make it a triangle. Well, let's leave it a sine wave. In fact, let's make it something weird. Let's make it one of these things and bring the modulation index down. Because we know this is going to give us a lot of noise because of this section right here. But it's going to have this quick wisp. This is actually probably going to happen so fast that you don't hear this. It'll just be perceived as a tone. But let's go with this. Oh man, okay. Let's increase the ratio here to something like 4. Let's make this 16. So let's get rid of that. So we play higher notes up. This is really interesting stuff. Now, I know we haven't exactly made the best sounds in the world. These are just relationships. Because I'm not attempting to do sound design right now. I'm attempting to understand relationships. So, as you can see, we can layer these things up. We could even put 2 and 3 out just for fun. They're so low, though, that they wouldn't contribute really as tones. But when we change these ratios and the phases and things, we could try messing with the phase of them. Take 4, change the phase. Take 5. So very useful knowledge on how things are going to interact, especially when you get into, again, higher ratios, which is where more of the timbral content's going to come from. So that's pretty wild. If you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe and have a blessed day.
Opposing gloves. Reversing.